Alright, so let's get started with our random rectangle generator. Alright, so it's gonna be a lot of fun and let's get started. First thing first, what I wanna do is import random. Alright, this is the module that we've talked about in previous lectures, and this is the module that will generate those random numbers. Now, the function we're going to be talking about today will be the rand range number or rand range function. So I'll talk about it in a bit, but let's get our starter code there. Create the function. I'm going to call it random rects. All right. So and it takes in one parameter, and the only parameter that we're taking in here is this. Number. So number of rectangles, right? And based on the number of rectangles, we want to create all those random rectangles. So for I in range, and there's different ways you can do this. I'm just going to say 0 to num, okay? What do I want to do? Well, I want to, first of all, get our 4 coordinates. And the way I can do this is by saying x1 is equal to random.randrange, okay? And then I say 300. And all this does is, well, it takes a look at what's happening. X1 is equal to random.randrange. And all randrange does is it generates a random number between 0 and the number I've specified. So let's not do 300 actually. Let's do 100 for now. All right, or let's see. One sec here, guys. Yeah, let's do 150, because if we generate a random number between, well, actually, no, I'm sorry, guys. Just do 300. 300 is fine. We'll take a look later on. So next one is y1. Y1 is equal to random.randrange, and do 300 again. Then the next one we want to do is what x2 is equal to x1 plus random.randrange 300. So do you understand what's happening here? Remember, whatever x2 and y2 are, they will always be greater than x1 and y1. Why? Because x1 and y1 will always be in a position that's, well, less. So x1 and y1, x1 and x2, x1 will always be more to the left, x2 will always be more to the right. Basically, x1 has to be less than x2. Same way with y2. We're going to say y2 is equal to y1, whatever y1 was, plus random.randrange 300. All right? And then last but not least, all we have to do is call canvas.createRectangle. And for simplicity, I guess, create rectangle. Don't fill it up, or I might fill it up with black. Just leave it at black. Canvas.createRectangle, and then just pass in our 3 coordinates or 4 coordinates. Awesome. Save this F5. Nothing's gonna happen. Why? Well, probably because we haven't specified anything. You can try and call it, but it won't work. It won't work. It just won't work. You see, you get nothing. So go back to our code. Go ahead and call this function now. Function is random recs, and let's say I want to generate 20 random rectangles, or let's start with 3. F5, and let's see if we even get 3 rectangles. Hallelujah! Take a look. So we've gotten 3 rectangles, and again, it's overboard. All right, it's going off the screen, and you're probably wondering why. The reason for that is because if you think about it, we're specifying x1 and y1 to be a random number from 0 to 300, right? However, if you think about it, let's say x1 is 270. And then for x2, we're saying 270 plus a new random number. What if that new random number is maybe 300? So it's going to be 270 plus 300, 570, and it's going to go way off the screen. So instead of specifying a random number between 300, do it between 150. And the reason for this is, let's say x1 becomes 150, and then miraculously, this random.randrange function over here also returns 150. It'll be 150 plus 150, which is 300, and which is the width of our screen. Okay. Hopefully that made sense too. Basically, all we're doing is we're setting it back to 150 so that the rectangles stay inside of our screen and do not go outside. Take a look. Nice. So we got 3 rectangles. Let's go ahead and create some modern art. And by modern art, I just mean random rectangles. So let's go ahead and increase our random recs to 150. This is going to be a lot of fun. F5. Wow. You know, this type of art sells for millions of dollars, and you created it via Python, so that's even way cooler. Awesome job, guys. Okay, so this is our random rectangle generator. Play around, give it some color. One very neat feature you could probably try, all right, listen to me. So we talked about the shuffle function, right? How you can shuffle a list. What you should do is create a list of colors. So blue, yellow, green, red, white, magenta, gold, all right? Once you have your 7 or 8 colors in a list, shuffle the list every single time this function is called, and then go ahead and add the parameter fill is equal to that color, all right? And by doing so, each rectangle will have a different color, or not each rectangle, but it'll have differentiated colors and it'll look cooler. So one thing you can definitely think of, again, awesome job. This was just to create a random rectangle generator, and we accomplished that. Now we're almost done with canvases. Obviously, we're going to talk about it more during the animation section. But for now, we're slowly getting to the end of our whole Tkinter section.